Each morning, when you wake up, you are given one of the greatest gifts of existence, the opportunity to begin again. The old version of you has already done what it could. Its lessons were valuable, but it is no longer required to carry the same limitations, habits, or doubts. If you truly wish to become unrecognizable in 1 week, you must no longer seek change outside. You must turn your gaze inward. For what lies within you is far more powerful than anything the world can offer. Your transformation begins not with action, but with awareness. Observe how you think. Observe how you react. Do not try to change these things immediately. Simply become familiar with your own inner movements. To master the self, you must first understand it. Your breath is the beginning of this awareness. It is your anchor to the present. Through each conscious breath, you quiet the mind, settle the noise, and return to the stillness that has always been there, waiting. In 1 week, you can reshape your mind, but it will demand sincerity. It will demand discipline. The undisciplined mind seeks distraction. It clings to stories of the past, fears of the future, and validations from others. But you are here to let that go. You are not here to become better in the eyes of the world. You are here to become free. You are here to embody strength, clarity, and peace, not as masks, but as your natural state. With each sunrise, ask yourself, who am I becoming today? Speak not from habit, but from intention. Move not out of impulse, but from presence. The one who walks slowly, breathes deeply, and chooses every step with mindfulness is already transforming. You cannot fake this path. The way reveals itself only to the one who is ready to walk it with humility and persistence. You must protect your energy. You must protect your time. Do not allow the world to steal your attention. That which you give your focus to, you give your life to. 1 week is not a long time, but it is enough to redirect the course of your life. Wake up earlier, sit in silence, practice stillness until it becomes your power. Move your body with reverence, not restlessness. Speak only what is necessary, and in every moment ask, is this bringing me closer to my higher self? Transformation is not loud. It does not boast. It happens in silence, in solitude, in the sacred moments when no one is watching. That is where you become someone new, not through the approval of others, but by the alignment of your actions with timeless principles. In the Shaolin path, it is known. To master the external world, you must first master the inner world. 1 week of focused living, of disciplined breathing, mindful movement, intentional thought can shift your entire reality. The world will not understand this at first. That is not your concern. You are not here to be understood. You are here to become undeniable. Be patient. Be clear. Be precise with your energy. Let your transformation speak for itself. And remember this truth: a warrior does not wait for the storm to pass. He learns to be still within it. In 7 days, if you commit fully, not partially but fully, to this path, you will not recognize yourself. And that is the point. You will have shed the old skin. You will have burned away the illusions that true transformation begins with inner awareness, not external change. It is easy to look outside for answers, to chase after new routines, material success, or temporary motivation. But all of these are fleeting if the mind behind them remains unchanged. Real transformation does not come from altering your surroundings. It comes from shifting your perception of yourself and the world around you. The first step is to become deeply aware of your thoughts, your emotional patterns, and your automatic reactions. Without this awareness, any effort to change is merely cosmetic and temporary. Inner awareness means noticing the subtle voice that narrates your day, the judgments you hold, the fears that guide your actions, and the beliefs that shape your identity. Once you become aware of these internal processes, you gain the power to redirect them. You can interrupt destructive habits before they form. You can replace doubt with clarity, fear with trust, and resistance with flow. This kind of awareness requires stillness, silence, and the courage to witness yourself without distraction. When you begin to know yourself beyond surface roles and identities, you begin to access your true power. Change no longer feels like a struggle because it flows from a place of alignment rather than force. You start choosing with intention, acting with purpose, and thinking with clarity. The outer world may stay the same for a while, but inside something profound shifts, and eventually that inner shift radiates outward and touches every part of your life. Your relationships change, your actions align, your energy becomes magnetic. But none of this is possible without the foundation of inner awareness. True transformation is not something you find. It is something you uncover by turning within and illuminating what has always been there. Your breath is the gateway to presence and clarity. In every moment, it offers you a return to now, a return to yourself. While the mind races with thoughts of the past and future, the breath remains constant, steady, and present. It is always here, quietly guiding you back to stillness. When you begin to pay attention to your breath, something powerful happens. The noise of the world softens, the chatter in your head quiets. You become anchored in this exact moment, free from the illusions of what was or what might be. With each conscious inhale, you invite awareness into your body. With each exhale, you release what no longer serves you, tension, fear, and scattered energy. This process is simple, yet it holds the potential to transform your entire state of being. Breath is not just a function of survival, it is a tool for mastery. It reflects your inner state and influences your emotional landscape. Shallow, rapid breaths mirror anxiety and restlessness, while deep, deliberate breaths reflect calm, control, and presence. By mastering your breath, you begin to master your mind. Clarity arises not from thinking more, but from thinking less and breathing more. It is through this rhythm of conscious breathing that the fog lifts, the path clears, and your next step becomes obvious. Presence does not require effort, it requires surrender to the breath. And in that surrender, you awaken a deeper intelligence within you, a knowing that goes beyond thought. The breath connects the body, mind, and spirit. It reminds you that peace is not something to chase. It is something you return to by breathing fully and living consciously. No matter where you are or what you face, your breath is always there, ready to lead you back to your power. Discipline is the foundation of freedom. At first, it may seem like a contradiction. How can rules, structure, and commitment lead to liberation? But in truth, without discipline, the mind becomes a prisoner of its own impulses. The person who lives without discipline is constantly reacting, pulled in every direction by distractions, emotions, and fleeting desires. There is no stability, no focus, no real control. Freedom is not doing whatever you want in the moment. It is having the strength and clarity to choose what truly serves your growth, even when it is uncomfortable. Discipline builds that strength. It teaches the body to obey the mind, and the mind to obey a higher purpose. Each time you wake up early, train your body, calm your thoughts, or choose silence over noise, you are reclaiming your power. You are proving that you are not ruled by laziness or fear. This self-mastery creates a sense of inner peace that no external freedom can match. With discipline, your time becomes your own. Your energy is directed, your choice is intentional, and your path clear. There is no longer the chaos of indecision or regret. You begin to move through life with purpose, not pressure, and slowly, what once felt like sacrifice starts to feel like strength. The small acts of discipline, sitting in stillness, completing your tasks, practicing patience, become the bricks that build your freedom. You are no longer at the mercy of mood or circumstance. You act, not react. You choose, not react. Discipline may demand effort in the beginning, but it leads to a life that is deeply your own, shaped by your will rather than your weakness. True freedom is not escape, it is ownership. And that ownership begins when you commit to the daily practice of showing up for yourself again and again. You become what you consistently give your energy and attention to. Every thought you entertain, every emotion you fuel, and every habit you repeat is shaping the person you are becoming. The human mind is like fertile soil. It does not judge what is planted. It simply grows whatever seeds are nourished. If you continually focus on fear, self-doubt, and limitation, your inner world will mirror that darkness. But if you direct your attention toward growth, clarity, and purpose, your identity will begin to align with those higher vibrations. What you feed will grow. Energy flows where attention goes, and over time your focus sculpts your character. This is not a one-time event, but a process of continuous creation. Each day, each moment is an opportunity to choose what you allow into your mental and emotional space. Most people allow their attention to be hijacked by noise, distractions, and external chaos, not realizing that this unconscious focus is weakening their inner foundation. When you choose where to direct your energy with intention, you are reclaiming your power. It means saying no to what drains you and yes to what elevates you. It means being deliberate with your time, your thoughts, and your presence. This focus becomes a practice, a discipline, and eventually a way of life. And slowly, your inner reality begins to transform, which in turn transforms your external world. You start embodying the values and principles you once admired from a distance. You stop waiting to become something and begin to realize that you already are. It just required your full attention. Who you are is not defined by what happens to you, but by what you consistently focus on. Choose wisely because your attention is the most sacred currency you have in shaping the person you are becoming. Transformation happens in silence, not in the approval of others. True growth is not something that needs to be broadcast or validated by the outside world. It is a deeply personal and inward journey that unfolds in the quiet moments when no one is watching. In the silence, there is no applause, no recognition, no comparison, only truth. It is in those unseen hours when you choose discipline over comfort, presence over distraction, and intention over habit that real change begins. Seeking approval from others can become a trap, a distraction from your path. When you rely on validation to measure your progress, you surrender your power. You begin to shape yourself according to what others expect rather than who you are meant to become. But transformation does not require permission. It requires commitment. The silence teaches you to trust yourself. It sharpens your awareness, humbles your ego, and builds an unshakable foundation rooted in inner strength. In the stillness, you confront your fears, your doubts, and your truth. You begin to see that the person you are becoming is not built for the spotlight, but forged in solitude. The noise of the world fades, and what remains is your will, your values, your discipline. When transformation is real, it doesn't demand to be seen. It becomes evident over time through your energy, your choices, and the peace you carry within. Others may notice eventually, but that is not the goal. The goal is to become aligned with your purpose, regardless of who applauds. Growth done in silence is pure, stable, and lasting. It does not need to be performed, it needs to be lived. Let your transformation unfold in the quiet and let your actions speak louder than any words or recognition ever could. Intentional living creates a new identity. Every moment offers a choice to act with purpose or to drift through habit. When you begin to live with intention, you stop running on autopilot. You become aware of your thoughts, your decisions, and how they shape the person you are becoming. No longer are you reacting to life, you are responding with clarity and direction. This shift is powerful because your daily actions, no matter how small, begin to align with the future version of yourself that you envision. Over time, these intentional choices compound and form a new way of being. You start to notice that your old habits, distractions, and patterns of self-sabotage no longer feel natural. Instead, you begin to crave structure, focus, and growth. Your environment, your energy, and your relationships all begin to shift, not because you're pretending to be someone else, but because you are uncovering the person you've always had the potential to be. This new identity isn't built on what you do once in a while. It's created by what you consistently do on purpose. Living with intention means asking yourself why you do what you do and being brave enough to change direction when the answer no longer aligns with your values. It means becoming aware of your internal dialogue, questioning your limitations, and building habits that support your vision. Through this conscious way of living, you shed the identities that were formed through fear, survival, or societal expectation, and instead create one rooted in authenticity and alignment. Over time, people may see a change in you, but the real transformation is how you feel when you're alone, centered, empowered, and fully responsible for your life. That is the power of intentional living. It shapes who you are from the inside out. In just 1 week, total transformation is possible through full commitment. Time is not the true barrier to change. Lack of focus and intention is. When you decide with absolute clarity that you are ready to transform and you commit fully to that decision, you activate a power within you that is often dormant. A week may seem short, but when every moment is lived with awareness and purpose, it becomes incredibly potent. With full commitment, each day becomes an opportunity to realign with your higher self. Each choice becomes sacred, and every action becomes a step toward the person you are meant to be. This kind of transformation does not happen by accident. It happens through deliberate presence and consistent effort. You begin to wake up earlier, breathe consciously, move your body with discipline, and protect your thoughts with vigilance. You remove distractions, break old patterns, and replace them with practices that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. When you give your full energy to this path, something shifts. You begin to see through the illusions that once held you back. You no longer crave comfort because you are now fueled by clarity and purpose. The person you were 7 days ago starts to feel distant, not because time has passed, but because your consciousness has elevated. This transformation is not about becoming someone else. It is about stripping away what no longer belongs and returning to your original strength. 1 week of full commitment can show you what is possible when you stop negotiating with your excuses and start honoring your potential. It is not the length of time that changes you. It is the depth of presence, the purity of intention, and the strength of your decision. Transformation is waiting. All it asks is that you show up fully.